One of the earliest forms of petrodollar recycling was a deal between the US and Saudi Arabia that allowed the oil-producing country to invest their petrodollars in US treasuries. Many oil-producing countries have established sovereign wealth funds that are in charge of recycling their petrodollars. Petrodollars are crude oil export revenues denominated in US dollars. The term gained currency in the mid-1970s when soaring oil prices generated large trade and current account surpluses for oil exporting countries. In 1973, the petrodollar system was created through a deal between the US and Saudi Arabia. The countries agreed to price and trade oil in US dollars. With oil standardized in terms of dollars, any country that purchased oil from Saudi Arabia would have to use dollars. What do you know about the Petro Agreement, the year 1973? Secretary of State Henry Kissinger secured a deal with Saudi Arabia to exclusively sell oil globally in dollars, boosting demand for the weakening currency. This strategic move allowed the US to sustain trade deficits as countries exchanged dollars for oil. This system dates back to the early 1970s after the collapse of the Bretton Woods gold standard. This period saw the rise of the petrodollar system, which promoted the US dollars rise as the world's reserve currency. Oil producers and purchasers use this system to trade in the commodity in US dollars, Middle East, North Africa. When Saudi Finance Minister Mohammed Al-Jadaan announced in January 2023 that Saudi Arabia is open to using currencies other than the US dollar in oil contracts, he probably did not expect his comment to attract so much media attention. He should not have been surprised that it did. The 1973 crisis resulted from cuts in domestic oil production, whereas the 1979 crisis was the result of the Yom Kippur War. The 1973 crisis was more severe than the crisis of 1979. Both crises led to reduced regulations to expand domestic oil production. During the 1973 Arab-Israeli War, Arab members of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries OPEC imposed an embargo against the United States in retaliation for the U.S. decision to resupply the Israeli military and to gain leverage in the post-war peace negotiations.